All right. Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday night, and we're back with the Good News Game Plan of Greenwich with Coach Kelly.
Hello, Tim. How are you doing today?
Very good. How are you?
Oh, I so missed our show last week. I
Yes.
got caught up with a bunch of stuff. We just couldn't get it together, but I really did miss doing it. And sometimes you got to take something away for a little while to realize how much you enjoy it. So I did enjoy the show. And you know, it's fun too when you're calling around to everyone and saying, "Hey, want to be on the show?" and just trying to nail down some people who are willing to spend 15 minutes with us talking. Not everyone wants to do it, or not everyone's available. But and sometimes you have to explain what you're talking about because they just don't know what you're talking about. But it's fun doing that too. So the whole thing behind the show, it's fun. Next week, Police Chief Heavey is going to be visiting us. He's going to talk about all the good news that's going on in Greenwich, just like everything else. So, Tim, do you have some little bits of good news you might want to share with us about Greenwich today?
Let's see. My daughter just passed her lifeguarding test, and she will hopefully be a lifeguard down at Byron Beach, Byron Pool.
That's
so
fantastic.
I am very excited about that. I did many yards there last summer. So now if I get somebody that can reserve one of those lanes for me, I'm going to be sitting pretty this summer.
Proud Papa. You'll be pointing up, there's my daughter guarding our lives.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
No, that's good. Did you get your shot yet?
No, I have not. I'm letting everybody go first.
That's nice.
Yes, just trying to, let everybody get theirs done first. I read, is it true that they're going to do the Greenwich Avenue cut off the bottom again?
I think they're talking about that. Certainly, there's a cutoff point where they have to get it done. I know I certainly enjoyed that. And could you imagine? Now, imagine this, Tim. They're going to make it just for pedestrians, just for eating out, just for hanging out, and having no COVID. Imagine that, how much fun that'll be. That'll be the town getting together on a regular basis. And
that'll be good news.
Oh, well, it's more than good news because we need that, because socializing is something, well, that's the thing I miss the most, getting out and just talking to people, seeing people and hanging out. So I'm really thrilled about that. So hopefully we pull that one off, get to do that without the COVID restrictions, and can all hang out and have some fun down on the bottom of Greenwich Avenue. So once again, all sorts of good news.
I want to mention, just because I think the last show I did mention that I was at Cobber North, but I'm going to mention again this little fundraiser that goes on, because Cobber North's coming up at the end. But today being the 23rd, it's Firehouse Deli and the FG Kitchen, which is in Byram. Both of those are in Byram. But then next week is Joey B's and the Greg Street Pizza, and then Old Greenwich Deli and Cobber North coming up after that. But those fundraisers will support the Boys and Girls Club. So we definitely want to give a shout out to those guys, because we love the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, one of my favorite things to eat in the whole world is food, and all those places that you just talked about, they provide food, so that's good. So I've been happily ordering from those places as those days came up. So happy. Italian combo, Firehouse Deli today, yes sir. Very nice. Yes. We have some wonderful guests this evening. We have Ashley Cole, and we have my lovely wife, Jill Kelly. Ashley's going to talk about a variety of things. She's somebody I discovered at these town meetings when people get up there and speak. I found the power of this person. It's incredible. So why don't we bring her on so we can share the stories with her? There's Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hey guys, how are you?
Well, doing good. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Please, you have some good news for us to start the show off?
I have some great news. I'm vaccinated.
Nice. Yeah. Double? Did you get the double dose, or you just the single?
I got one and done, Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. I'm very happy about it. And it was a happy line to be in.
Well, that's certainly good. And as myself and Jill are scheduled for the 30th, so we're coming up. We'll get a double doser. So we're going to have to wait a couple weeks before we get the other one. But I got that A+ blood, so I got to get my vaccination quick before I get this thing, because
I have that blood too.
You do?
Wow. Yes.
That is the highest grade I've ever gotten, is my blood type. I've never been able to achieve that outside the blood type. But I'm just not that much of a student. But certainly I'm good at blood.
Well, type A's and type ABs are the most rare blood types in the whole field. Did you know that?
Type A and type A+?
A and AB.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, that's good.
Yep.
A+ was quite common, but now I learned otherwise. That's good.
That's what I
Well,
thought.
Ashley, let's talk about where I found you and you found me.
Okay.
I got involved in town politics and started going or having to go because I'm part of the Board of Education, these meetings. And I noticed this powerful voice with a strong opinion talking about a lot of different situations. And I noticed that everyone's sort of thinking, what are we going to do about this strong opinion? And I said to myself, are you kidding me? The first thing you do when you have a strong opinion that with somebody that's willing to put all that energy in, you put them on your team. So the first thing we did, instead of you opposing things that you thought you really were not sure about, or you wanted it done slightly differently, we kind of put you on the team. Now you're serving on the building committee for the new entryway. Is that true?
That is true.
At the high school, and so you're taking your energy and your power for good, and helping that setup. That's gonna look pretty good, right?
I think so. I live here on Hillside Road, right across from the high school. So we very much are part of the high school, and the high school is part of us. And over the last several years, I've noticed our residential zone has been kind of eroded a little bit, and we never got the landscaping we were supposed to get from the MISA plan, because our neighborhood supported MISA and we support the high school. Mm-hmm. But over the years, I think we were kind of marginalized. So I felt like somebody should speak up, but it turned out that person had to be me.
And you did a fine job of it. And what started from, we'll talk about maybe a little bit of bad news, started from a negative approach, came to a positive, helpful approach where you're a mover and a shaker now. You're making things happen.
Well, there was always supposed to be a positive thing. Sometimes you just have to speak up and say, hey, we're here too.
Absolutely.
And we're a neighborhood, and we can do this together and make it better, not just for the neighbors, but for the students and the whole community.
Well, Ashley, I loved my first project on the Board of Education was Cardinal Stadium. So they said, well, Joe, you're a coach and you're a sports guy, so why don't you take on the for the Board of Ed the taking on Cardinal Stadium? So I said, sure, I'd love to. And we had you speaking, and I said, we got to get you on board, because at first the thought of the everyone in the whole community was that the neighbors were against Cardinal Stadium. And in fact, we found out that it was one unique, we'll call him a very unique fella who lives kind of near the school, who has his own opinion, but it was not shared by all the rest of the neighbors. And what you did, you and your crowd, you organized, you brought a neighborhood association together. I believe you made a limited liability company out of that association as well. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know about that. I believe in grassroots
fantastic
representation. And I also, just so we're all happy here, all our neighbors are appreciated, no matter what their opinions, and everybody has a right to represent what they feel is right with their property, their environment, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, absolutely. I guess my point was that you guys got together and said, hey, this is kind of the things we want. And myself and Christina Downey, another member of the Board of Education, met with you guys. Yeah. And we said, well, that makes sense to us too. So we all got on the same team.
Exactly.
And we went to planning and zoning together as a group. And we got through planning and zoning because it was the cooperation between the association that you helped put together and the Board of Education working with the community and the neighbors. And that, as far as I'm concerned, that's the best way to do it. Harnessing your energy.
Absolutely.
For helping that helped us get to where we are now. We had our groundbreaking ceremony the other day. We will begin that project and break ground officially with the contractors and stuff. Everyone signed on, so everyone's ready to go. So that should be happening very, very soon. So we're very excited about that. But thank you for all the help you gave us with that.
Well, remember, I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, which is our greatest state university, just my opinion. But we have, I don't know if you've ever been there, but Chapel Hill, the town, and the University of North Carolina are very much a symbiotic kind of environment. They're they run up close to each other, and they work together to create a wonderful town gown environment. And we can do the same thing with Greenwich High School.
Absolutely.
And that's what we should be doing.
Well, that brings us to our next topic. Let's talk about our new project, which is officially going to be announced tonight.
I'm so excited.
Embryonic stages, the early stages of our beautification, and I'll let you take it from here. Go ahead, Ashley.
Well, it's actually, I've been vocal about this little piece of property for a long time. And I've been saying for years, I said, we have this amazing waterfall and pond that should be one of the most beautiful spots in Greenwich. And we need to do something with it. Right now, it's kind of ugly and it's not doing anything for anybody. But now, Joe, that you've gotten behind this with me, and I thank you for that, we're going to turn this into one of the best beauty spots. That's what I call it, a beauty spot for the Post Road and Greenwich. You know how Second Congregational Church, or the Crocus Hill right across from Second Congregational, there's that amazing little hill with all the crocuses, and everybody falls in love with it. This is going to be just like that. When people drive by or walk by, they're going to see this amazing waterfall, and it's going to be kind of like a pocket park.
Well, it's going to be the symbol of Greenwich High. They're going to look at that and they're going to think of Greenwich High. It's going to be synonymous with, if you see a picture of Greenwich High, you're going to see the waterfall and Greenwich High. I think it could be great. We got a lot of steps ahead of us. We got a lot of town agencies have a say in the matter over there, which we're going to work closely with everybody. We're not going to be rogue. We're going to work with everyone and make sure everyone gets on the same team. You've already contacted a bunch of people that are just excited and want to move forward in this, because just simply in a very near future, I just like to get together and just say, let's get a small group out there and heck, rake the leaves.
Absolutely.
Just to start it that way, because nobody from any of the organizations within the town, they're all great people, great partners in getting things done, but none of them can say, hey, don't rake the leaves. There can't be anything wrong with that. And then I was walking in there also the other day with our project in mind, and I looked around and said, there's some trash in there. And you know what? We're going to have to make sure we clean up that trash and make sure that it gets cleaned up going forward by somebody. But certainly first, we'll get a group together and make sure all that stuff gets done, and then we'll start moving forward step by step.
I think it's going to be fabulous, and I cannot wait. I actually think almost everybody in town wants to see this happen.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't? Well, let's hide that beautiful waterfall, and let's not plant some beautiful flowers and bushes, and maybe get some lighting and all that sort of stuff. Let's do all that sort of stuff. Who's going to say, hey, wait a minute, don't do that. We want weeds to grow there. No one's going to say that, right?
Absolutely.
Ashley, you've been a good partner so far. Continue with that. I want to know more about you, though. Now, we talk about our little projects and stuff, but tell me, where did you grow up? When did you move to Greenwich? All that sort of stuff. Give me a little rundown on you.
Well, I grew up in Western North Carolina, and my father was a developer, and we bought, when I was a young child, a plantation of 400 acres, an old plantation. It was falling apart, and we restored it and made it a really beautiful, amazing place. And so that's where my love of old homes and restoration comes from. And so I've been a part of the Historic Society here in Greenwich, and I think saving your cultural past is very important in a municipality such as ours, because, there's beautiful and it's charm, and these things are really important. And of course, that leads into our waterfall project too. But so I grew up on all this land, and that's why I fell in love with Greenwich, because of the open space here. When my husband told me we were moving to New York, I started crying when we hit LaGuardia, and I stopped crying when we crossed into Greenwich. I thought, I can do this. So I've kind of adopted Greenwich as my town now. And
we're happy to have you here. That's for sure. So
yeah, I love it here. And
I here how long?
Make it beautiful and special.
How long have you been here for?
I moved here at the December 15th of 2000.
Okay.
That's exactly when I moved here.
All right. So a couple of years after I moved here. So we're kind of, in the eyes of the townies, we're newcomers, but in the eyes of the wave of people that all moved in here, we're sort of with that wave when people just kind of moved in quite aggressively. So about the same time.
Yeah.
But no, great. Well, welcome. It's good. It's good working with you. But now we're gonna bring Jill in. She might have a question too of you. Hey, Jill, are you there? Because she's gonna come in and talk about some of the.
Hey, Jill.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, Jill usually, beats me up on the tennis court.
She does that with a lot of folks. I got stories to tell you about her beating me up on the tennis court. You would not believe.
Landing on my sneakers.
I can't wait to see that.
She did that. She took the last year. She was on. We were playing. I begged her to play tennis. She doesn't like playing with me because I'm not very good. And but I said, "Come on, play. I feel like playing." She says, "Okay." She took a phone call while she was playing, and she played the whole point out or a couple of points on the phone, and still beat me. So
I love running him back and forth, back and forth.
There's a famous scene in a movie with Scarlett Johansson, and I can't remember the name of the movie. And it was that, where she's like batting the tennis ball and drinking at Starbucks, and he's like sweating bullets.
That's me. That's me. Hey, Jill, you have any questions of Ashley now? You listened to her talk a little bit about the projects we're working on.
No, I'm so happy about that waterfall because I notice it all the time whenever I'm doing the drop off at school, and I always say that could be so amazingly beautiful there, and such an attraction for Greenwich and for the high school. It'll
it would be huge for everybody. And when Joe called me to tell me that we got the go ahead, I literally jumped up and down.
Well, we didn't get the go ahead. We're just in the planning stages. There's no go aheads yet.
Okay.
Go ahead takes a little time.
Not one to ask. You got to start momentum and get everything going to get things on board. So I'll figure out what the official committee is going to be, whether it's going to be under something. But I told you I'm going to be with you on that one, and we'll get whatever group we can to do that. So it's going to be fun. That's for sure. We'll enjoy it.
Well, I don't think we'll have any problem getting interested people. Everybody's just saying, I am there for you.
Perfect.
And,
Ashley, thanks for joining us on the show. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. I'm looking so forward to working with you on these various projects.
Same here. We're going to make it gorgeous. It's going to be great. And Jill, let's play some tennis.
Yeah. How about doubles with Joe?
All right, Ashley, we'll see.
They're really fun.
We'll see you later.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, Jill.
Yeah.
We have you on the show in a different room because last time I guess we were in the same room. We couldn't talk to each other on the program, and we do talk to each other quite regularly here at home. But on the program, we're unable to do that. But I guess the topic you're coming in here to talk about, and other bits of good news as well. If you want to start with the other bits of good news, or if you want to go straight into our wonderful, fantastic real estate boom that we're all benefiting from here. Well, anyone who owns a house in Greenwich is benefiting.
Yeah. We have lots of good news from the real estate market in Greenwich. I mean, if anyone out there knows a realtor, walk up and give them a hug. Well, or at least an air hug. I think we still have to do, but they are working their butts off. We've been working so hard for the past year, all through COVID. We haven't stopped. So between the sales and the rentals, we are really, cracking it. So, we had that wave with coronavirus of people coming out of the city and looking for some outdoor space, some space inside too, because now, a lot of times both parents are home working, the kids are homeschooling, and you even have college kids coming home from college and working at home, and young adults who have gone into the city and taken apartments and started jobs who also are moving home. So you have a house full and you need some space, and you don't want to have to worry about going down an elevator to take your kids to the playground. You want to open the back door and let them out. So we've had a steady flow of people from New York. We've had people selling their places in the Hamptons and buying here and then making their New York apartment their second home, where it was before their primary home.
Well, with Airbnb and people traveling around and all that sort of stuff in the pre-COVID environment, I was concerned that a home like ours. Now we had a very fortunate run up, so we were able to accumulate some wealth. So we bought a place that had a lot of features, and it looked like the desire for homes with a lot of features was slipping away because people wanted to have less responsibility, and they wanted to travel to a lot of different places, staying in these accommodations that were easy and convenient. Now, as you just described, the trend has gone back the other way, where people want all those features at home: the home office, the pool if you can have it.
The pool is huge now.
Tennis court, or the accessibility to the Long Island Sound or a beach if you're not in Greenwich, but the Long Island Sound. All these features that we've really enjoyed for the last 23 years here in Greenwich, once again, are in demand. So we're certainly benefiting from that, and the town itself is certainly going to benefit once COVID's done and everybody gets outside and gets out to enjoy themselves. We'll be welcoming new neighbors. We'll be welcoming all the people that have come and joined us, and I'm sure it's going to be a great thing.
Well, there's huge demand for Greenwich because of the amenities that we have in our town. The beach, Todd's Point, is beautiful. The golf course, the Griff, the good schools that we have, we're highly rated schools. The restaurants, shopping, we have everything here, everything for everyone. So and the range of people we have anything you're looking for, you can find in Greenwich.
Well, that's the thing I really like the most about Greenwich. It's such a mix of people. It's all different kinds. And we send our kids, everyone might know, we send our kids to the public schools, and we do that because we want to mix with everybody in the community, not just have it where it's a separate few. Now, I do understand and appreciate those who want to go to the private schools, and that's fine. That I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. We prefer to make sure we mix with our community of all different kinds, and that's the real thing I appreciate about being in Greenwich is that it has a big range of different sorts of folks. Yes. So that's good. And so I certainly appreciate that and do enjoy our time here. Now, Jill, what we do, and I know you gave me a little hard time before because I said, well, also, other than real estate or in addition to real estate, I was going to ask you on the show to talk about yourself a little bit because I'm not sure everyone who will watch this knows about you. I certainly know a lot about you, but you said you might not be prepared to talk about yourself. And I said, well, mate, I think you're okay with that. You know a lot about yourself. I know a lot about you. So tell us a little about where you grew up.
No, so you got to just ask me questions and I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Hey, Jill, where'd you grow up?
Larchmont.
Larchmont,
New York.
Larchmont, and then you did you go to? Do you remember one of those clubs?
Pretty much Westchester County, because I grew up in Larchmont. I went to St. John and Paul Elementary School there, and then I went to high school in Rye to School of the Holy Child, and then I went to Villanova, and then I went to Iona College where I met you. So
well, that's right. I remember that. That's where I came into the scene for sure. And then we had the opportunity to travel places. Where do we travel a little bit to?
Well, because you worked in Tokyo and you worked in England, we traveled there. When you worked in England, we took a trip to Paris and got engaged there. And then we went to Venice and Rome and Florence. It was a very romantic trip. Oh, nice. Yes. I said yes.
You did. That was 30, how many years ago? 40, 30, 50 years ago?
Yeah, a long time ago. More than half of my life. I know that.
1989. So, yes, of course.
I dated for 6 years. I had to make sure.
Of course. Well, good. Well, now with the activity with all our kids and we have the addition to our home with Drew in the house as well. Certainly, we have a busy house, and we like when the kids come visiting. So that's been a real big advantage for us during this lockdown time that we've had a busy house full of kids. And Jill, you operate your business, your real estate business, basically out of the home office. I operate out of the home office as well. So we have those two businesses we're running out of the office.
Well, I work at Sotheby's International Realty, and I have an office in town right at the top of Greenwich Avenue in Pickwick Plaza too. So, but it's good that I'm able to work from home, and I also get in there every once in a while with COVID. We're kind of sparsely going in and out of the office right now, but it's great that we're able to do that.
Well, now you I believe you were looking at some stats prior to the show. Is there any stats about the real estate market in our community, the boom market that you want to share with us? Anything you might have picked up before the show?
Well, let's see. During this month, the closings, we had 54 closings versus 23 from last year at this time, and that's an increase of 134%. So that's a pretty good stat. Let's see, what's another one? The town closed 183 single-family homes from the beginning of the year, and at this time last year it was 91. So that's 101 101% increase. Yeah, we're, I mean, the numbers are just off the charts right now. So I can just keep rattling off numbers that are, you know, double the amount from last year. The sale price is going up. You know, the town average sale price is $3 million. You know, and it was 2.9 last year. So that's going up. Sotheby's, our office's average sale price is 3.3, you know, an increase of 400,000. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I'll tell you though, sitting here watching or listening to you, how you operate your business, in 1 year's time, I guess the broker or somebody like yourself has gone from saying, well, I've been sitting on this house for 5 years. I've been showing it. I can't find the right buyer. And the owner of the house has given me a hard time for not selling the house. Now it's flipped around where everyone had houses for sale. Nobody had a buyer. Now everyone's got buyers and you can't find any houses for sale. It's amazing how quickly that flips.
Houses are selling at asking price or they're going to bidding wars, and you're trying to figure out what the seller wants. Do they want 60 days to get out, or do you want 90 days? Whatever you want. You know, just let me buy your house because I want to buy a house, because the inventory is so low right now that we need inventory. So if anyone wants to sell their house, now's the time.
Let's bring Tim in. Tim is in this business as well. So maybe Tim could come and share some information about this business as well. So Tim, do you think this real estate boom that's affecting not just Greenwich, uniquely Greenwich, but also the entire state and possibly the tri-state area more as well, yeah, do you think we're sustainable? And if so, how would that happen?
Sustainable? Well, they're not making more land. So if everybody's staying put like they are, most people are, then it's going to be a tight inventory. Is going to stay low. So that's going to be the challenge. People figuring out, you know, where they want to go. But a lot of people have refinanced with these great low rates, and they don't have a reason to move from here. I mean, we the way we talk, why would anybody want to leave? And that's the problem. And it's the same in Westchester. I've been licensed in Westchester for a long time now, and it's exactly the same. Everything's, you know, going for asking or over, and it's very challenging to work with buyers. And it's nerve-wracking for sellers too, because I have people that want to move, but they can't find something.
Well, that's the thing. The problem is sellers don't know where they're going to go to. And, you know, there's people, before they even put their house on the market, they're going and looking to see what's out there. But I'm like, it's not going to be here once, you know, by the time you sell your house and then come back, it's going to be gone. So, you know, you just kind of have to hope for the best and maybe slide into a rental until you find what you really want. So,
well, I had bought a piece of property in Groton, Connecticut. So it's not just here, not just Westchester. I had bought a piece on the water in Groton, Connecticut, and we subdivided it into 12 units. And this is right before 2008. I had bought it in 2004, and then 2008, the liquidity up in Groton dried up. So I had these subdivided lots. It was more than we expected, so it turned out to be was better than projected. We had built a road, which cost a little bit of money to build a significant cul-de-sac road. But the bottom line is, I was sitting on it for a while, up until just a short while ago. Now they're lining up to take these things, and I'm pulling the prices back each time. And we built a spec home on it. Now we're going to build one or two other spec homes on it. But we've sold a few of the properties, and now there's also, I'm looking at a place in Stonington. I don't know much about it, but I'm thinking about buying another raw land and subdividing it into 14 different units. So the opportunity seems here. My concern is just sustainability. You guys think this is sustainable, or is it something that is just going to kind of end when the pandemic is over?
I think people's lives have changed, and I think that they're leaning more towards, you know, building a life than just trying to be in the rat race and keep up with everything. And they want to, you know, be more family oriented and just enjoy each other's company more, and their friends and family. I definitely think there's a change for going forward.
So our advice to our sellers is, or our people who own homes, is basically enjoy your home, because your neighbors are going to be enjoying it as well, because we turned out making the right decision by moving to suburbia and buying nice homes and living in great neighborhoods like Greenwich. So we've done a good thing. So enjoy your home. But if you're interested in selling for whatever reason, the kids have moved away and you're an empty nester, then what you're saying, I guess both of you are saying it, it's maybe a good opportunity for you to create liquidity, sell your home, and make a decision on your next step. Is that basically what your advice would be in this case?
Definitely.
Yeah.
At least try it. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
I think that a lot of people are not fearful, but very concerned about, are they really going to get over asking? Are they going to get enough for their house, or in their own minds, because the market is going so well, and they get outbid on where they're going to go. So they don't want to sell theirs first. They want to find something first, which is hard to do in people's minds. They don't want to own two houses, but this market, it's not going to happen, because they'll be able to sell as fast as they can. But they have to go over asking to get the house. And you mentioned you're from Larchmont. I lost 4 deals in Larchmont already, just being outbid. And it's tough. It's very disheartening, because they're ready to sell their other place, but they've been outbid 4 times. So,
I had my mentee call me before I came on the show asking, we're going to highest and best. My client is, I'm like, you got to just tell him, he's got to pick a number that he's comfortable with, that if he loses it, he's comfortable with what he offered, and be able to walk away at that. And so it's a hard time. I mean, one of my clients lost it to a highest and best. It came on Thursday. By Sunday night at 5:00, they were taking highest and best. And, there were 5 offers, and he was in the middle of the bunch. But, people, you got to be aggressive now.
Well, to all my Greenwich neighbors and friends who happen to own a home, an apartment, anything, or owners, please enjoy your appreciation of your asset. When you see it from year to year go up, and possibly as much as double-digit appreciation, it certainly reminds me of the old days. We lost that for a while. 2008 took the edge off of that one, and we spent a lot of time not watching the numbers, a lot of times go backwards, if not stay flat. But now appreciate it going up in value. Appreciate your home. Maybe do a little bit of home improvements, and just be happy and have a smile on your face if you have a place and prices are going up. I know we are, and we're quite pleased.
Yep, it's a good time for real estate.
For sure. Well, thank you, Jill, for coming on and joining us and bringing us the good news about the real estate boom. Tim, thanks for sharing your knowledge about real estate. As I said, I don't know much about Greenwich real estate. All I know is when the prices are going up, it makes me happy. And
That's right.
Developing outside of here, we've done some of that, but it's all seemingly good in that field. So enjoy, have fun. Everyone out there, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week with
Happy spring.
Chief Heavey next week, and whoever else we got to join Chief Heavey with, but we got the Chief next week joining us. So,
right.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
All right, thanks.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tim.
Bye.